Let's dive a little bit deeper into Wireshark and packets. In this video, you will learn better usage of Wireshark and we'll cover some tips and tricks and pitfalls that commonly people fall in when they start using Wireshark. So let me go ahead and start Wireshark. And you'll notice here that I'm being asked to provide my username and password. Again, this is because I am not running as root. So I'm going to type in my password here and Wireshark can start running in a privileged mode. One of the very first things that you want to pay attention to when you're running Wireshark is where are you capturing your traffic? In other words, what interface are you using to capture traffic on? As you can see here, I have multiple interfaces. I have ETH0, TUN0, loopback, any, Bluetooth, and so on. So here I need to be careful where I'm going to be doing my capture. If I start Wireshark on the wrong interface, I'm not going to be seeing any traffic. So what do all these interfaces mean? ETH0 stands for Ethernet 0. In Linux, ETH0 or Ethernet 0 is the standard for the network interface that is plugged into your network by an Ethernet cable. Now here's an important distinction. If you are using your own Kali in a virtual machine at home and you're connected to the Wi-Fi network, you will not see a Wi-Fi interface here. Reason being is because the VM, be it a VMware, VirtualBox, etc., it does not have direct access to your Wi-Fi. The VM will access your network through its own interface that then uses the Wi-Fi. So for the operating system that's running inside the VM, it does not recognize that there is a Wi-Fi interface. It will only see the ETH0 interface. Now this is only for you to worry about if you're running Kali in your own VM. If you're using our live labs, you don't need to worry about this. So to make this simple and easy, what you can do is you can look at the traffic graph here. If you see spikes of traffic going up and down, that means the interface can actually see traffic, and this is most likely the interface you want to use to capture the traffic of your wire. So on the live labs in a VM, almost always the ETH0 is the interface that you want to use. If you have a special setup, you have Kali installed directly on your computer without a VM, you might want to use the Wi-Fi or whatever interface that you are using. Now I can start the capture in one of two ways. I can either double click on the interface or I can go and click on this icon here. And you see immediately that some traffic starts to populate and appear in my Wireshark interface. Now let's go ahead and generate some traffic, some specific traffic so that it will help us understand better how Wireshark and protocols work. For this, I'm going to be using a tool called hping. You've already used ping very early on in this course. Now ping uses a special protocol called the ICMP. We talk about this in other courses, so don't worry about it for now. But because now you are familiar with TCP, I'm going to be using hping to do ping, but using the TCP protocol. So let us set it up together. First, I'm going to set up hping to send packets from a specific source port. In this case, I'm choosing the source port to be 4444. Then I want it to reach a destination port. In this case, I'm going to choose port 443, which is for HTTPS. Then I'm going to do count 3, similar to what we've seen in ping, so I just want to send 3 packets. And here, I'm going now to set the TCP flag. What do I want the TCP flag to be? I'm going to set it as the SYN flag, and S annotates SYN. And I'm going to put the target, which in my case is going to be hackersacademy.com. Let us run this and see what happens. I'll hit enter, and as you can see, I get 3 replies. In each reply, I have the SA flag, which stands for SYN ACK, which is exactly what we expect. I'm sending a SYN packet. What am I getting in response? I'm getting a SYN ACK. Now let us look under the hood and see what's happening exactly on my network interface. I'll switch to Wireshark and let us go through this together. The first packet that we're going to look at is packet number 11, and it has the protocol of DNS. So what is happening here? This is where everything starts to come together. Remember when we talked about DNS as a component of the internet? What does DNS do? It translates URLs or domain names to IP addresses. So when I used my hping tool, I pinged hackersacademy.com. However, hackersacademy.com is a domain name. My computer actually needed to get the IP address of hackersacademy.com. So what happened? You'll see that from the source, which is my computer, there was a DNS query going out. And if we go to the packet content, I can actually expand the DNS query and I can look at the query and see that it's asking for hackersacademy.com. So where is hackersacademy.com? What's the address of hackersacademy.com? you'll notice that there's a response in packet number 12. So Wireshark is intelligent enough to connect the dots. If I double click on the response, that will automatically take me to packet number 12. I can scroll down to the answers and I can see in the answer that the DNS query returned the address of hackersacademy.com to be two IP addresses, 104.27.135.83 and 104.27.134.83, meaning that Hackers Academy actually has two IP addresses, not just one. This is important for later on. Keep that in mind. Now that the DNS query is done and my computer knows the IP address of Hackers Academy, it can start to try and communicate with it. And now the hping command kicks in. So this is the SYN packet that we sent, and you can notice here that the source port is 4444, which is what we've defined. And where is it going to? It's going to the destination port of 443. And if I expand this, you see that there's a SYN flag set in this packet. Now what do we expect the response to be? Of course, we expect the response to be a SYN ACK. Now what about this third packet here? I sent a SYN, I got a SYN ACK. This is what the output from hping showed me. What am I saying here? What is this third packet? What does it do? Where is it coming from? Let's answer these questions one by one. Where is this packet coming from? Well, the source is my computer. You can see my IP address here. And the destination is the IP address of Hackers Academy. So this packet is actually being sent by me. Okay, from which port to what port? Again, this is getting sent from the source port of 4444 onto the port of 443. So hping is actually still sending packets, however, it's not showing me this in the output. So what is this packet all about? Let's look at the flags, and you can see there's an RST flag. What do you think that flag is for? If you guessed reset, you're 100% correct. This is a reset packet. So what does a reset packet do? It basically, as the name suggests, resets the connection. So what's the use of this packet? What's happening is I'm sending a SYN packet. Hackersacademy.com is responding with a SYN ACK. What does Hackers Academy expect in return? It's expecting me to finish the three-way handshake. So it's expecting me to send the ACK packet in the three-way handshake. However, this is not what's happening because I defined in hping that I want to only send a SYN packet. So I send the SYN packet, I get a response. And now Hackers Academy server is left hanging waiting for the third packet. Now imagine if you repeat this tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of times. So I send 100,000 packets just with the SYN flag. So Hackers Academy gets a SYN, replies with a SYN ACK and waits. Get another SYN, replies with a SYN ACK and waits, and so on and so forth. And the server ends up waiting for 100,000 ACK packets. And the result of this behavior might not exactly be desired, because then what will end up happening is the server is just waiting for all these ACK packets and its resources are getting consumed. That might cause the server to hang or crash. So as a courtesy, what hping is doing is it's sending the reset packet to tell the server, let's reset the connection, we're done. And then you see the second sequence happening again. hping sends the second SYN packet, we get a SYN ACK from Hackers Academy, and then we reset the connection, and then we do it a third time. So this is what's happening under the hood.